win at LS Fest, which I was lucky enough to do last year, you know, you've got to be good in all segments. What you may lack in another area, you're gonna have to make up for in another one. So you stink it up in one event, but do really good in the others, you're not gonna win. You got to do strong in all of them.
This is my third time here. Was able to win the Grand Championship in 2010, and you know, it's really kind of the grand holy grail that you want to come out of here with is the Grand Champions, and have the cumulative quickest time from the drag strip to speed stop on the autocross. And with that, they have a car show you have to get judged, and also the countryside cruise. So it's all about a really, really versatile car, and knowing your car as well, and having luck on lady luck on your side a lot too.
Well, you know, Friday mornings are usually kind of hectic because you're waiting to get in. You got to get the registration. You got to get the tech. You got to get in line, get your spot. So I think I've made 3 passes this morning. First 2, I do what I normally do. I go out there and just hammer the course, try to find, you know, where I need to back off or maybe where I need to press it a little harder. So slipped and slid around there, but then made a few little tweaks to the car. Ended up clicking off a 37.1, which I believe at this time is about 3 or 4 tenths to the good in first place.
Wow, throwing down the gauntlet. That's the #1 time of the day so far by Kyle Tucker in the venerable Camaro.
So you know, about lunchtime here on Friday, we've made a lot of laps on the autocross already. Got the lead for the overall in the autocross right now. Brian Finch is right there. We're going to be neck and neck all weekend if we can keep both of them running. And you know, there's been some carnage already this morning already with some top contenders. So you got to finish at the end and have some good laps too. So we'll see how we do.
We're here with a broken car. We haven't even made a run yet today. We're going to be the first car on the autocross track, and went to clean the tires off on the way to the starting line and failed the left rear spindle in this Corvette here, and unfortunately that's one of the spare parts we didn't bring with us. So we've got some guys coming from Cincinnati bringing parts, and those that are smart enough know that we're going to be back over there soon though, so they better not let their guard down too long.
So we brought my 010 Camaro, and this is the first time I've actually drove this car in a race, so I'm trying to get used to it. I think right now, out of everybody, I'm running maybe 10th, but I think I'm the fastest 5th gen Camaro here right now. You know, I would love to win the overall event, but with the car I'm driving this weekend, it's not realistic. I know I'm not going to win, but in any competitive event, there's always a winner. You know, in my own mind, I think there's probably 4 or 5 cars that got a realistic, feasible chance to win. And then the rest, I guess, technically could be called losers. But it's great weather, it's wonderful cars, you're racing. I mean, how does it get any better than that? You've won the minute you show up.
So far, I'm about mid-pack, but I think getting a little more familiar with the track will get me way up in the points. I know I'm probably not going to win the event, but I've never had more fun with my car than at any other event than the Holley LS Fest. But you never know. I mean, we all look at the same 5 or 6 guys to win this thing, but every year it could potentially be anybody.
Yeah, you know, we always see the top guys, you know, at every event, but every now and then you do see a newcomer that pops out of the middle of nowhere. So I think there's a red 69 I've seen run some pretty respectable times that kind of caught my attention. So I'm keeping an eye on him. I don't know who he is. I think I've seen him at one other event, but he's got a badass car, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, when we got here this morning, didn't know what to expect. We walked the course, got a feel for what was going on. And my mentality is just be as efficient with time as possible. As far as where I would finish, you know, you always want to place well. There's a lot of good drivers here, big drivers. You know, if I ended up in the top quarter of the field, I think I would have been pleased. Yeah, it's Friday afternoon, so it's still early. We're still running again tomorrow. My best time, I believe, is 37.3. which puts me second out of this group, and I was told there were 125 cars.
The good thing about LS Fest is, you know, a guy doesn't have to come here and try to run the whole event. He doesn't have to come here and worry about where he's going to finish in all 3. He can come and just focus on 1. I mean, it's a hell of a lot of bragging rights to be able to come out of here and say you won the autocross instead of, you know, hey, I come in 10th in the overall.
I'm just running the autocross here, not running the Grand Championship. But I signed up for the truck and throwdown, obviously, since we have the truck. And that way I get to do all the events with those guys, just with the trucking deal. So, you know, just having fun on the autocross. That's why we came out.
We came here this weekend just to have a good time and see friends and, you know, just enjoy the sport. We've been doing a lot of work trying to get our autocross times better. Autocross is definitely a lot like golf. It seems like the difference between good and bad is very small.
Most of the events that I've been to involve road course and autocrossing and a little speed stop squared. Here we throw in the drag racing, which this car's never made a pass. We'll find out soon enough.
That's the neat thing is maybe we're a little quicker on the autocross, but we reset to 0 and we go over to the drag strip. So that's what's really neat about the event. It takes a total car and a lot of luck to be able to get it all.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take this Corvette that just broke a spindle to the drag strip very soon thereafter, putting it back together also, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but just from a breakage standpoint, I actually like the drag race as well as all other automotive performance events, but makes me a little nervous taking a car just broke a rear axle piece right to the drag strip.
There's a lot of guys that are super strong over here on the drag strip. So we'll call those spoilers. So there's some guys out there that run some top times. I know that none of us running our kind of all-around cars are gonna make numbers like they're making here. So those are the guys we're gonna have to watch out for. I know there's some turbo power cars, some supercharger cars. So right now we're just trying to stay ahead of them, put enough points, put enough distance between the next guy. It's going to be tight this year. It's going to be really tight.
So this car has twin 56mm turbos on a 427 LS engine, and we can flip a switch and run the car naturally aspirated, which is approximately 450 wheel horsepower, and then we can turn the switch on, put the high boost program in, and it's got 900 wheel horsepower. And we also have the ability to get it up over 1,000 if we want to. As far as I know, at this point, we're the fastest in the drags right now.
You know, you get humbling here at the Holley LS Fest when you take one of these cars over and run against some true drag race cars and they leave really hard. But you know, our numbers, you know, the mile per hour is there, and actually we're getting pretty good times out of the box. You know, that's what pro touring's all about. And to take a real versatile car that can do the autocross, that can do road courses, that can do drag strip and do a country cruise. You know, that's what it's all about.
Well, I've been running our black 010 Camaro all day here at the LS Fest, and the car's doing really good. I got down to a 37.9. That's the good part. The bad part is the leaders are running 36.5s and stuff, 36.7s. So a while ago, I climbed in old Reliable here, the 48-hour Camaro, and my first lap was a 36.8. So now I get to make the decision, okay, am I going to switch cars and throw away all of my runs that I did today, or am I going to keep running the black car? I think tomorrow I'll probably be in the yellow car, and that time puts me right in the hunt. If I can run a mid 36, I got something for these guys.
We got this thing together, and you know, we were able to make 4 or 5 runs last night while the autocross was still hot. Most of the competitors were out doing the cruise, which we're going to do today. So we stayed and ran the autocross swing a time yesterday morning, and first couple runs were pretty eventful. You know, we were trying some new setup stuff here, and the car right now is performing pretty well. We were able to take the lead by approximately half a second or so on the last run of the day yesterday. So right now we're pretty happy.
Yesterday we did the cruise. It was awesome. We went, I think we got lost a little bit, so we should probably, I'm thinking, get extra points for the extra distance that we went, but I don't think that's going to happen. But we had a blast. It was a great cruise. It seemed like there was about 80 plus cars on the cruise, and it was awesome.
Yeah, the cruise to me is a cool piece. You get to go out, experience to countryside, but it's going to separate the guys that are trying to come here with a, with a weapon right there. If they built their car just to do the track, they're going to get killed on the cruise. So that's the equalizer. One of the cool things that they're doing here at LS Fest is adding in the car show component. So we get points for coming and doing the car show, and those points, you have to have them. You can't do without them. Some of our old war horses here don't fare so well there, but you know what? Part of the event, you got to do it, and we're glad it's there.
The weather's been great. It's been hot. It's good for everybody though. The track's a little slick when it's this type of sun load on it, and the fast guys keep getting fast. Danny Pop got his Corvette back together, and he's running really strong. We're chasing him right now, and Brian Finch made some good laps. So I think I'm sitting third in the autocross. We're checking the boxes off. We went on the countryside cruise last night, and did that. Went through the car show, got judged, and checked that box, and made some runs with the drag strip last night. The track was really good. And the weather was cool, and I got down to a 12.0. I think the car will go quicker than that, but we'll try it again tonight.
We've only got a couple more hours left on the autocross. Got a couple more chances to make passes here on the drag strip. So you can see I'm up here in front of the line, taking advantage of every single chance I've got to improve my time. So it's crunch time right now. And hopefully I'm going to stay neck and neck with Danny Pop so that at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's going to be the decision maker.
This isn't over till Sunday late afternoon. Tomorrow we have the 3S Challenge, which nobody's run yet. So, every position is, I think, 5 points, so it all makes a difference. We're going to see how it works out for the overall.
It's a highly technical, straight line acceleration, threshold brake at the end. You got to do a 180, come back through a slalom, and then stop into a 20-foot by 40-foot box, which is very, very difficult. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of chances to mess up.
Now, I've never done the 3S Challenge ever, and I was really kind of nervous about it because I had a hard time at the autocross this weekend, and I thought it was going to be a lot like that, but it was a blast. And we actually did pretty well. I was impressed. We finished better than I thought we were going to, so now I'm dying to know how the drag race turned out, because I think if we did good with that, we were pretty good in the 3S, and maybe the fact that we weren't so good in the autocross will be okay. But I'm on pins and needles waiting for the awards or whenever we can find out how the drag race turned out.
Now, in this event, points are absolutely critical to win it. And one of the things that I'm fighting right now is that I've had somebody at the last minute jump ahead of me in a qualifying position this morning to put me one position out from Danny Pop. So what we don't know right now is if that many, if those points that I just lost are enough to bump me out of the overall win. So all I can do is, hope that that drag time is going to stay up, and hopefully this spoiler didn't come in and ruin the weekend for me.
It's this whole Grand Challenge champion thing is going to come down to this event. I think myself and Brian Finch are very close. I got him at the autocross, he got me at the drag strip. We both did the country cruise, we both did the car show, so all the marbles are laying here, and we're looking pretty good. We're amongst the leaders. Hopefully we can pull it out, and hopefully there's enough people between Brian and I here, and not as many people at the drag strip because I think he's a little faster than me there, and we'll see what happens. But it's going to come down to the wire for sure.
Yeah, so with the autocross times, everybody kind of knew what they were. You listened to the times all day. They announced the finishing order. Same thing with the speed stop. Times were always being announced. The drag strip is the big mystery for everybody because all it is the time slip that you have to turn in. They're not recording the times up in the towers for you. They're not keeping the tabs, and they're not posting it anywhere. So it's just a bunch of little schoolyard rumors floating around about who ran what, and you just don't know. So again, like last year, this event is going to come down to everybody standing in front of the award ceremony trying to figure out who won.
This year's grand champion for the 2013 Holley LS Fest, car number 931, the 72 Corvette of Danny Pop.